Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Matt Ward and Derek Eaton with the Vacation Rental Life Show. It's Tuesday night, 8 o'clock on the East Coast, and it's still 8 o'clock in Toronto, I think, where some of our Toronto friends are. It is 5 p.m. on the West Coast, and who knows what it is on Hawaii time, as Derek likes to say. Derek, where are you at today? You're in Seattle today, aren't you?
I am in Seattle, so I'm actually in one of my vacation rentals right this second.
There
So,
you go, just doing a little flip-flopping around. That's
yep.
awesome. So we are back again tonight. We're going to do another listing site review. But before we get to that, we wanted to kind of address the big elephant in the room, which is COVID-19. It is back and rearing its ugly head again, which is going to have a direct effect on the vacation rental industry again. A lot of people have talked about the quote unquote second surge, but we were thinking, and the talk was, and public talk has been around this idea that this reemergence of the virus would come back in the fall, but already we're seeing upticks come back now at the end of June and going into July, and you see a lot of July 4th cancellations that are happening with parades and events and celebrations. And we're on this topic tonight because specifically Derek and I were talking privately over the last couple of days. He has been getting cancellations directly related to this new uptick. So Derek, why don't you tell him a little bit about what's going on?
Well, what I've just an example of one call I had today was from a lady that was in Arizona, which that state has gone back into full lockdown. So they are not essential businesses only. So like grocery stores and that type of level of shutdown, mask required at all times, and yeah, no non-essential travel, etc. So they've relocked down. In some aspects from I'm not totally knowledgeable about what the situation was in Arizona, but I think that might be even more strict than they were the first time around, especially once you consider the mask aspect of it. So this is kind of a new thing for the people living there, and so for someone that was planning a trip in a month, they're not sure that makes sense. And the new flavor of this wave is the 14-day quarantine, which has been part of the Hawaii life for quite some time. It seems to be coming back and having a state by state level where certain governors are saying, okay, if you're coming from this state, because they're having upticks, you have to 14-day quarantine if you come into our state, and doing that type of thing. So
yeah, so that's actually the tale of two stories, right? Because I'm in
yeah.
Massachusetts and we have not loosened up at all up until now. It's been a constant issue and point of real political topic and discussion here in Massachusetts is the issue of not opening quick enough, right? And a lot of people were very frustrated. Our restaurants are still not open for inside dining here. They're outside dining. They're saying 50% inside dining is coming soon. Um, like nail salons just opened this week. And so it's been a real issue where I think we might be at 50% occupancy on an actual business as well, because when we opened, we were 25%. So when you look at the map that shows that there's upticks and surges in other areas of the country, Massachusetts is not one of them, which is good in some regards, is bad in others, right? Because I think the economy has sputtered here. And in fact, we were having check-in and travel issues for the short-term rental industry here big time, right? I mean, so we had a 14-day quarantine advisory, which they could not enforce, but yet they then also said, we know it's working because hoteliers are saying that people aren't checking in because they're telling them this before they go check in. Maine has a form you have to fill out that requires that you attest to the fact that you've had a negative test and that you're quarantining in Maine for at least 14 days. So one of the issues isn't so much where our vacation rentals are per se, it's where people are coming from, where our guests are traveling from. And that's part of the issue too. Obviously, it's a big issue if you have a vacation rental in an area that has an uptick like Arizona or Florida or some other state. Texas is another one. So I just think we have to be very aware of what's going on, and we have to continue to look for opportunities for revenue, right? So whether it's long-term, whether it's going midterm, whether it's hosting parties, whatever it is, I have no idea, but we got to find some revenue somehow.
Yeah. Well, and I think the other thing is to be more prepared for these cancellations than we were the first time, and be ready for what to say, what the policy is going to be, how you're going to do it, so that you have every time the phone rings, you know exactly what you're going to do, and be fair about it. In my case, what I did is I opened up the dates, and really this isn't too different than my normal cancellation policy actually. And she left happy. I said, I'm not going to refund you right this second. I'm going to open up the dates. And I told her, which is the truth, I'm running, I think because of a new booking that I got yesterday, I might be running close to 85% occupancy right now in Seattle. So I'm pretty booked. So I said, I have a month left to rebook this. There's probably a pretty good chance that I will. And reality is she booked so long ago that my rates are higher now than they were then. So I might actually make more money by canceling it, in which case, I'm happy to refund her money. And at that point, and I said, if not, I'll give you a year to use it as a credit. And she left happy on that phone call. And I realized not everyone would be appeased by that, but in this case, I feel like that's almost what you have to do. Is you just have to kind of take it case by case, start with a blanket policy and adjust from there.
Yeah, and it's the communication aspect that we've had that conversation a number of times on this call, that if we are in fact communicating with other people, we're having real dialogue, real phone calls, real conversations, then we can be empathetic, and maybe they can be flexible. And it's going to take two parties to tango here on this, and just work through whatever the challenges are going forward. I mean, we need to have businesses that are running a year and 2 years and 3 years from now. And because if we don't have enough guests, we're not going to have businesses, right? So we need to make sure we keep as many of that as much as that as possible. I'm not a big fan of the whole shutdown the way it's been. I don't think it's pro-business. But on the other hand, I understand the effects of what it does from a virus standpoint in choking it off. And I'm in a 50-50 scenario. I'm like, okay, what do we do about the business? But on the other hand, if we keep it open, now, everybody's going to get sick and no one's going to come out. So it feels like a total catch-22, and I don't know. I don't know how many of you feel like me, but it's like, what do I do? Right? It's like you kind of take a wait and see approach,
Yeah.
Lately, I feel like the only people making money are liquor stores
and pot shops.
Well, if they're open.
They are.
But apparently, liquor stores are essential businesses in Massachusetts.
Pot shops in Washington are considered essential. They were
They were not here.
Yeah, as crazy as that is, they were deemed essential. But I mean, what a way to keep everybody calm and not rioting by having them smoke a bunch of pot and sitting at home and play video games, So it's one way to keep civil unrest down.
That or just cordon off the streets in your city.
Well, or both. Seattle is all about giving people their freedom to protest, except Except when they start protesting in front of the mayor's actual house, then the mayor actually gets pissed.
No, there you go.
Yeah.
All right. So what are you guys going to do about the second uptake? Hey, welcome V. Chime in. Unmute yourself. Tell us what you're doing down in Houston to cordon off the challenge down there.
Drink and smoke pot.
Honesty.
That's about all we can do, right?
I
I mean, the governor says one thing, the local government say another thing. It's just harder to know what to do. We just got hit with a second wave of cancellations, and some are real and some are not. So we, follow kind of like what Derek's doing, just doing it case by case. If they're traveling from out of state, we probably will, be lenient. If they just driving in from, an hour away and want to cancel, we a little stricter. And that's just, it's just day by day, case by case right now.
Mm-hmm. Linda, are you seeing cancellations with your properties?
I'm not, fortunately. It's been, I think because most of the people are driving, from either the Los Angeles area, San Diego, or
San Fran.
So, yeah, hasn't been bad. People are worrying, though. I have somebody coming in soon from Houston who's worried that the airport's going to be shut down to fly in.
Yeah.
Have you sent them rental car links?
Rental what?
Rental car links.
No, it's a good idea, though.
Send them links for here's where you can rent a car in Houston and drive over to California.
It's not that far.
Yeah.
Send them links to Airbnbs along the way.
Yeah, there you go. Tell them to go up to Kokomo, Indiana, and stay at one of Boyd's properties on the way over to California. Yeah, I imagine over there you're not seeing too much of a surge. I haven't heard anything, Boyd. Are you seeing anything on your side?
I think we've had a little bit of a surge. I haven't seen it affecting business. One of the guys' jobs got shut down today. Somebody tested positive and they all had to go home for the week and get tested. There's going to be a 3-day work week anyway. That was a project the Corps of Engineers are doing.
Boyd, hold on one second. How do you handle that? I mean, your guests are there. Was that a longer term?
Well, he's here till December, and he can't really go home. He lives in Alaska, so he's not going to fly home because he's shut down for a week.
So you don't lose your guest though, right?
No, I haven't lost my guest. We've got some long-term tenants that come down with it here in the last week or two. Seeing a spike in mental illness, people that are on the thread, the isolation, COVID seems to put them over the edge. Had a rash of just tenants that have been with me for a year or two, and like they fell off life. I don't know how to explain it. Just craziness I've never seen before. From people I've never seen it out of. So I'm seeing a spike in that. That's pretty much what I see, locally. People are still coming in mostly for funerals and weddings. And I feel like we offer a safer environment than the motel for the people that are traveling that are really in need. So I'm good for now. I'm just facing it like this is a new way for a long time. I don't know what everybody else's thoughts are.
Yeah.
That's
what about you,
I'm
John? Are you
day
seeing
out.
changes in Hawaii?
Well, Hawaii's finally opening up on August 1st, so I haven't had a first wave of bookings. So now I'm starting to see some people exploring coming, but it's going to be interesting because it's not going to be a second wave. But Hawaii, Derek, as you know, has had very few cases. Right now, today, they just had 17 or 18 cases statewide, which by Hawaii standard, it's high. But I don't know. I have a few bookings coming up. A few of my canceled from April and March, who have rebooked in August and September. So that's kind of starting up. And then I'm actually flying out to Hawaii in about a week, and I'm doing the 14-day quarantine and everything. And then next call, I'll be talking to you from Hawaii.
Oh, nice. Nice. Yeah, I'll be talking to you from Florida. That's good.
Oh, by the way, I picked up 2 properties in Florida, so I might have to pick your brain, Matt.
Oh, there you go. Be careful, it might ooze. Speaking of properties, ladies and gentlemen, it is that time for the listing review. Hey, drum roll, please. We're gonna go ahead and pull up a listing review here, and Derek's gonna go ahead and share the screen, and we're gonna go ahead and pull up one of John On's properties. Now, understand that John has been doing this for quite some time, so we're probably not going to find a whole lot here. But just as a reminder, Derek's going to look at it from a vacation rental manager listing perspective, and I am going to look at it from a guest perspective. Right now, what we're looking at is ohanastay.com, which is John's website. What I love about this from a guest perspective is the immediate dates opportunity to search, right? I can just click it and I can just, that's killer. You don't have to go far down the scroll. So from my perspective, as having owned a website agency for over 16 years, this is what we call above the fold. So it's without any scrolling on the page that I can do the main thing that you want me to do. And that is, in fact, the call to action. So the call to action is booking a time frame. Why don't you look at August, Derek, just to see if that's the issue there?
Yeah, I bet that is. Let's see.
Come on.
There we go. Few options.
All right, so I think Derek, I'm gonna click the top left one here, and primarily because let me just state why. The color. The color, the artwork on the walls, and then even if the thing is superimposed on the TV, there's color in that right there. So
yep.
And I see ocean in the picture, whereas the other ones I see buildings. So I'm gonna pick this one. So let's go look at this one and see if John can get a booking from me.
I'll give you a special rate, Matt.
Special rate.
Cool.
Wow. So does your website do that with the photos, or are those?
Yeah, it's one of those. It's a PMS that builds a website, and I actually beta tested the PMS while they were trying to build the website, and my goal and their goal was to mimic Airbnb as much as possible, so that people feel comfortable when they see it. And back then, when this was being built, this was kind of the layout that Airbnb had.
So Derek, if you click on the very first photo on the upper left. Oh, okay. Interesting. Very cool. So, okay, just close that for a second.
Yep.
What I love about that layout, John, and I think it's fantastic, is you get that large photo in the middle, and then you have 4 additional photos versus 1 or 2 on each side. So I can see a number of different angles of the property right here. And the fact that I can see the water is just amazing. I think that's fantastic. Gosh, I see the pricing right up front. It's very clear.
Yep.
So that's great. Your amenities are clear.
Let's
look at the title again.
I like that your book now floats down the page.
Oh yeah, look at that.
That's great to have your call to action on at all times.
Steps to Waikiki Beach, ocean view, free parking. So what I like about this too is it looks like he's got the title in order of the priorities. I would imagine that most people booking here would be looking for Waikiki Beach and ocean view and free parking. So we look at the sort of order by which people would have their priorities, and I think that's a fantastic way to do that.
Yep. Yep. Amenities. If you have any flexibility, John, I highly recommend going with icons or a combination of icons and wording for these amenities. That's one thing that Airbnb does do now, and I have found just personally in management, like our guides that we put in our property that have all the information such as Wi-Fi and everything. As soon as I started using icons versus having the text, I got way less calls from people asking me questions about, what's the Wi-Fi password. I also label it on every TV, and I have it in like 5 different places in every property. But in addition to that, like once I put it in an icon format, it totally eliminated questions. So I'm guessing on the listing side, it might be a good way to show and not tell.
Unfortunately, I don't have control over that, but that's good feedback.
Yeah,
something maybe I can take back to the
exactly.
PMS.
I would kick that up to them and see if they'd let you.
John, why are you listing the address?
You have to by
Hawaii.
local regulation.
Yeah.
It's a permitting thing. If you're not legal, they want to know. So you have to list the address.
Oh, interesting.
Yep.
But for me,
why are you giving me a discount
why am I giving you a discount? Where are you seeing that?
in the pricing?
Right. Saying discount $349.
Right now, I have a weekly and a monthly discount. I typically don't, but
Okay.
this must be a week stay. So yeah,
He booked
that's
7
the
nights.
discount.
He
Yeah.
inquired for 7 nights. So yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
I do check prices.
Look at that. It's only going to do it on this one too, which is great. It doesn't kick you back to the search results page. So I like that.
Yep. So I can. So the price, that's interesting. Your average price per night actually went down on the shorter stay.
Because you didn't take the weekend.
You have a higher price on weekends, John?
It's all through dynamic pricing, and
Yeah.
so I'm not sure which dates you had, but
yeah, I had three, the third, August 3rd through the 10th versus 3rd to the 7th.
Yeah, you're
so
checking
the
out.
weekend,
Yeah, you're doing
Right.
just straight up weekdays there.
Yeah.
Right. So the weekend definitely does bump up.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah, no, I mean, I think this is a
Let's
good,
check out the photos.
go through. Definitely like the first lead photo. I think so.
Wow.
This might be one to if you have ability to A/B test, that would be the one to maybe B test with. But
The outdoor picture.
yeah,
With the
that
ocean?
picture
Yeah.
with the water. Yeah.
I used to do that, and then I switched it, but I didn't do an A/B test. So
Yeah.
I just rotated it around.
Now that Airbnb has the more information about your recent history as far as click-through rate and booking rate, you can narrow that down to the property level. That's one way to kind of by proxy, if you aren't able to do A/B testing with your website easily,
Mm-hmm.
you can kind of do that as a proxy.
Are any of these common areas closed right now due to COVID?
I know the gym is definitely. I'm not sure if they opened up the pool yet. Again, the thing with Hawaii is everything was under control. It was locked down. And right now it's only locals who are able to travel.
Mhm.
And then starting August 1, you know, people like me can come into the state if I get a test. So I think they're cautiously opening up some of the amenities. I need to double check actually.
Yeah, I think on Kauai at least, and I know that each county is doing it differently. Kauai, the pools have been opened as of like a week ago or so. But I know that Caldwell and you guys have had more cases on Oahu than Kauai, so that's could be part of it too. Being a little more cautious
Yeah.
there.
So this is interesting because this listing is like, it's pretty, doesn't need a lot of help.
Yeah.
Where's the train wreck listing? Can we look at the couch?
What you want to look at that couch listing?
Yeah, I want to look at the couch listing because these are really good. I mean,
Yeah.
he's got a custom website and um, everything is like all here.
Yeah. I mean, do you want to look at other aspects of like the page setup, Matt?
Oh, don't make me. I can totally pick apart his website. That's not going to
Well,
be a problem.
I know you, I mean, this is your background. So I don't know if you want to do that or you want to go on to another.
Yeah, I mean, so the only thing I would say about this is I really don't see any content generation here. So where are the things to do, right? You have the listings, but one of the things I think that's important is the things that people want to do on their vacation.
Mm-hmm.
So show me
Okay.
parasailing, show me kiteboarding, show me flyboarding, show me boat rentals, show me, so all those things that people actually spend additional money on.
Right.
Start telling me stories about it. Now, if you don't want to write all the blogs and the content, one thing you could start with is a social media page that kind of like has them posting to it type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I really do think sort of, the sunset cruise option, people going to get married on the beach,
Oh, and that's also a revenue stream potential too. That's pretty significant when it comes to Hawaii, because people do spend a lot of money on those activities and you can normally get 10 to 15% kickback on that.
And what happens a lot is if you're having real conversations with your guests and you're finding out why they're coming, then now you can send them an email with 3 or 4 different things to do. And those links go to your blog or your content, which is also going to help you beat out the competition from a website perspective,
Mm-hmm.
In regards to your vacation rental management page, if you click on that, Derek,
Mm-hmm.
the only call to action I see on this is to click a little bit deeper. But what if I just know that okay, great, I can see that you do it. These aren't clickable. The only thing you have is a chat button. I need to see a call to action that says, hey, call John or whatever. Oh, you got a Calendly link? Okay, so go back, Derek, to the other page.
Yep.
Then what I would do, that's in text form. I would get a large graphical button on this page right in the middle. That,
All right.
or just to the right of the picture, or drop those pictures because those pictures mean nothing. Like, so what you could do is change those pictures out for pictures that are interspersed with a button. And both graphic clicks could do the same thing. They could go to the Calendly to book a call with you, which would produce a conversation theoretically.
And one thing I kind of wanted to comment on here is that you don't necessarily have to reinvent the wheel. Like there's a lot of ways that you can quickly test landing pages. Like if you're using like a tool like Webflow, for example, you get templates pretty cheaply for like $50. And you'll be able to find templates that more accurately portray your brand by just changing small color components, changing image components, and it'll look a lot more modern. as well as have a much more cohesive feel. Like when I'm looking at this, my immediate thing is that all your call to action buttons are small, which means that I'm not going to easily find it. Where in comparison to like the different sections of it, one thing that you've probably learned as a host is no one really reads text. And so embedding it deeply into the text is going to actually make it really harder, because it's going to lead to someone searching for it, even though you're making it a different color. And that's just from like a UX 101.
Can you scroll up, Derek?
Yeah.
So Kwame is using the term UX, but nobody in the real world uses that. That's really a technical term. So that means user interface, which basically means GUI, which still means nothing to you. It basically is the thing you're looking at, right?
Yep.
And so ideal here is when I see this, John, I say, well, what do you really want to have happen, right? So how do you want somebody like, and go back to your listings. I understand the concept of what, you know, managing listings, you want people to book their listings, right? You don't want them to call you on the phone. But
Right, for the Correct.
management side, you want them to call you on the phone, right?
Exactly.
So put your phone number on here.
All right.
You know, and make it clickable so that I can click it and it dials from my phone, right?
Mhm.
Now, one of the things we saw a lot when I had a digital marketing agency was it was really hard to get in touch with people. They just, you got your phone number down here on the bottom, which is great, right? So that tells me you're willing to take phone calls. All right?
Yeah.
So if that's the case, scroll to the top. Put that phone number in the very top banner to the right of About Us.
Yeah.
That's where people are mainly going to look for your phone number. Since you already have it on the page, just duplicate it up there and make it clickable so that people can actually dial in and call you and you can take the call.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
This is great. Everything that you guys are saying, it's great. I'll tell you, you know, this PMS, they recently added this thing of putting your own page. Before it was just listings. And so I quickly just put in this vacation rental thing just to,
good.
you know, put it up there. And this feedback is awesome. And then
Yeah.
also the blog, that's awesome.
Yeah, so the blog thing is going to be interesting with your PMS system. If you can't do it in the PMS system, what you can do is do what's called a subdomain. So it would be like blog.ohanastay.com, and you would just point that to something like a WordPress system somewhere else, and you could do the blog. Now, I will tell you this, you know, doing a blog and creating content is a lot of work, right? It's a lot of work. So if you're going to do it, you want to figure out the processes to do it. The best thing to do is to say, look, here's what I want, hire somebody and go get it done. Right?
Yeah,
Because
I don't have the skills to start a blog.
It's not hard, but it takes time. Right? People like Emily, what Emily does, she's a virtual assistant for vacation rental people. That's what she does, right? I'm not saying she does blogging, but what she does is get projects done, right? So when I was in the web world, what we would do all the time is have people hire us to do one blog a month, right? And so we would write the content, we generate the stuff, but the biggest problem is getting guidance from the client because the client never called us back. So if you set up systems in place where you simply create a spreadsheet and you say, okay, the very first thing we're going to do is come up with the ideas for the next 12 blogs over the next 12 months. Boom, here's the idea. Okay, now you go run with it and I walk away. I don't have to touch it again. You know, now you just put up the content. Then when we talked a few weeks ago about email marketing, that's where your blog comes in handy because now you can send an email marketing piece to your past guests every single month that makes them wish they were back in Hawaii. And so when we go back to 2 weeks ago and we talk about Linda's property with the one thing that everybody loved was the hot tub looking out over the sunset, right? And the one thing everybody raved about was that. You want more bookings? Send email marketing messages with that picture in it. The one thing that people rave about your property every single month. As the header picture,
wish you were here
out over the hot tub, boom. and then the article is something else about Lake Tahoe, you know? So in John, your case, it's going to be this sunset picture or something similar, right? And then you're going to have the blog article each and every month, you know?
Yep.
Um,
Or one thing, since you're going to be in Hawaii, you know, write down all the activities that you and your kids do while you're there. You know, because those are blog opportunities.
and leave PlayStation
whatever
off the list.
Yeah, but I mean, like any activities that you guys do, any restaurants you guys go to, those are blog opportunities, and just to have that be part of your creative, because you can hire people to write the content for you if you just give them the idea. So anything that you do, and then you could also have the advantage of being able to add your flavor to it, and add even if they do most of the writing, you can, you know, write your favorite dish at some restaurant that you're
So, you know, he brings that up, and that's how the blog for my property got started. We started writing about all the different restaurants we went to. And then one time I did a video on how to drive to Dunkin' Donuts. Like, it's just basic stuff that people want to know, right? And they want to know where they can get their biscuits and cinnamon rolls and their nice fried conch or whatever type of fish is the thing of that area, you know? And the best, you know, they have these, there's this one place I go that has these what are they called? Photo op drinks, where the glass is the size of your head and they fill it with alcohol, and they don't even expect you to drink the whole thing, but you're supposed to take a selfie with it. Right. And that's their thing, you know? So if you can create content around that, the idea is that you create a single piece of content you can use in multiple locations. That's the idea. And so ultimately you'll kind of grow over time what that is.
It can be a page on your website. It can be a blog. It can be an email. It can be, you know, all of those things.
Right.
Yeah, I wanted to chime in here a couple, because we knew has struggled with content and copy for quite some time. So there's actually like a lot of learnings that we've had over the years and how we best hacked it. The easiest or the most success that we saw was with two strategies. And we also saw this strategy replicated best by a couple of other companies. One strategy is just bringing on someone internally, like an intern, like someone that's an English major that can seriously just interview you and do 30 minutes of interview with scripted content, and they'll do all the copy, write it. And similar to Matt and Derek's comments, you just fine tweak it and introduce different personalization elements, whether it be photos or images, to make it seem more authentic. The other strategy that we've seen that's works really successful is finding someone that does content, not necessarily on a competitor website, but you can see them. Most of them would happily recycle the same content for your brand or write content for you, but that's considerably pricier. It's transactional, and you can pay anywhere from $100 to $300 per content piece, and they'll do it based off of how frequently you want it done. Both work. Both are kind of effective strategies. It's just really up to you.
Yeah, so it's up to you.
Yep.
All right.
We'll have to leave Kwame on that note.
Stand by. We got to take a screenshot of that pose from Kwame at the moment.
No, this is really helpful. Because of everything that happened with COVID, I've really been spending a lot of time on building a brand and trying to create my own direct booking website that's functional. I mean, that really works. And all the things that you guys have just, given me feedback on is great stuff. So I appreciate it.
Oh, that's
no problem.
Yeah, I'm happy to help. But good work on getting it done and just diving in and taking action, because that's the big first step, and just it's a snowball. you just do a little bit, and it gets better and better every time you make some adjustments. So
Yeah, I do have a Facebook pixel on this page, and
Okay.
I'm more active on Facebook. I have a Ohana Stay Facebook, business page.
Mhm.
I don't post that much, but that was my first foray into some social media to generate some leads potentially down the road.
Yeah,
So
that's great.
cool. Thanks.
Yeah, no problem.
Now to
Yeah.
the couch.
Yeah.
Quick
Matt,
question.
do you want to drop the link because I don't have that link handy.
Yeah.
You didn't bookmark the sofa?
I
'Cause
I
it feels
didn't I didn't favorite the sofa to be able to go add it to my must book properties.
Mm.
Let's see here. All right, so
Matt and Derek, are you? Do you offer consulting for websites?
We do. Yeah.
You do.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's great. Okay, I need to speak with you about that.
yeah.
No problem.
So this is Matt's favorite listing of all time.
Note, big comfy couch, not a bedroom.
They're a super host though, and 4.87 stars. So it must be a comfy sofa.
Wow.
Yeah. Should we look at all these wonderful photos?
I love it that they can make 16 pictures out of a couch.
What now? Do you think that that's a custom comforter?
Is this Carol Baskin?
Where do you, wait, Carol Baskin?
That's what I was thinking.
Where do you buy a where do you buy a comforter set for a couch?
Oh my goodness.
What? Wait, is that plastic over the liquor?
Yeah, looks like it. Wow.
You can have cup of noodles.
Yeah. Oh, there is a dining work area, so if
You're just not allowed to look outside the house.
Is that a roll of paper towels?
Yeah,
Oh, how funny. Guess that's good for COVID.
yeah. And has Lysol there.
Is that an eye mask?
I think so.
Maybe you need that when you're sleeping on the couch.
It matches.
Yeah, it matches. It's the Carol Baskin edition.
Wait, is that a sign on the bathroom door? Go back. Go back to that. There's a sign on the.
Yep.
Does that say restroom?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh my God.
Pool.
Right, you got a pool.
I guess the pool's not bad for 35. Wait, what?
Butter and jelly.
Oh God, these things are gonna peanut butter and jelly. They're gonna be on your couch.
Yeah, they're gonna be all over you all night long.
Oh,
Wait.
But wait, there's more. We also have
Oh
Bubby.
my God, go back. Hold on, go back one picture. I just want to see.
Are you looking at the DVD collection?
I am. Are those CDs? What is that? Are those VHS? What is that?
I think there's CDs and DVDs, maybe.
Uh-huh.
Yep. Yeah. And we got Bubby, the inside-outside cat with the devil eyes here.
Oh, inside outside cat. So we're gonna get some rodents in there too. What is that? What kind of cleaner is that behind there? It's like, what on earth? All right, close the listing. Let's see at the amenities. What kind of amenities do we have? Comes
Okay.
with the couch.
It's clean and tidy. Let's see. So you got kitchen, Wi-Fi, pool, free
Wait.
parking.
Why is it only for one person?
Wow, there's 3 full-time residents.
Mm.
Everyone stays in their own room, so you have the downstairs to yourself, kind of like a studio. No one uses the living room when guests are here.
Do you think that they split the money 3 ways?
So each one gets.
Wait. Our goal is to make your stay much better than expected from start to finish. Please remember, this is okay, it's not even true. Please remember this is a private room in a
Shared room.
this is a private room in shared room, not a hotel. What kind of English is that? Please understand we are a few blocks from open fields and a waterway. You might see or encounter wildlife while in our home or neighborhood, but including but not limited to raccoon, skunk, possum, birds, bees.
How about tigers? That's what I want to know. Yep. Should we read some of the very social?
Very social.
By the way, that's one of the episodes we have to do, or one of the bits.
Raphael stayed twice. He had such a good time. He came back.
Lisa's great and friendly. Didn't know what to expect out of a couch. However, my expectations were easily exceeded. Oh my God.
Lisa's mentioned a lot here.
Yeah.
I can't even. Oh, there's more reviews.
Let's see. Awesome person goes above and beyond to make you feel welcome.
So does Airbnb have a red light district?
This is in Stockton, California.
That's what I was thinking.
I actually know a little bit about Stockton. Let me see. Where? Weston Ranch? No. Okay, so it's not far from the airport. Yeah. I can't remember that particular neighborhood. My wife went to school at the University of Pacific in Stockton, so I've spent some time there.
Lisa, oh, I know why she's renting this couch. She's been a commercial truck driver for 30 years.
Yep, there you go.
She's probably been couch surfing for that long.
Yeah.
Probably gone.
Now, I have a question. It's a couch. Why is it not suitable for children?
Well, because they only want 1 or 2 people, right?
They probably the 3 other.
So I can't leave my kid off at their house and pay $35?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my, this is the best babysitting ever. $35 a
Yeah,
night.
exactly. $35 a night.
The whole night.
And not by hour, not per hour.
That's so good.
Oh my God.
Yep. Well, there you go, Matt. I mean, we broke down the big comfy couch.
We didn't really break it down, but okay.
I mean, if I was going to do this, I'd definitely change out the comforter and go with some more colors. The brown and brown on brown is not doing it for me. So, but
Now, are you only supposed to sleep on the couch, or can you sit on it too? And
you pay extra for that.
what's with the freezer underneath the TV? Is that where the last?
It's where the host is.
It's just a little.
It's where you'll end up if you.
I know, right?
For a 5-star review.
So if Lisa can be successful on Airbnb, we can too.
Wait, go back, Derek.
Yeah.
One more. I knew it.
What?
That's where all the toilet paper in town went. You see it sitting just on the right out of the picture?
Oh yeah. So
for just a little backstory, this listing was posted in an Airbnb group on Facebook that I'm happy to be in, and Lisa, the host, was complaining about one of the guests about asking for a refund.
Yeah.
So So I just thought, well, you know, what kind of accommodations were they? And she said she rented her couch. And I was like, no, you didn't rent your couch. Oh yeah, I did. Here's the listing.
I mean, that definitely makes me want to charge more, even in COVID, for my listings. When, you know, if someone can get just a couch, I provide a bed and a sleeper sofa, a real sleeper sofa, for, you know.
I think my listing is going for like
$5 a night during COVID.
I think my listing is going. My 2-bedroom listing is going for like $99 a night right now.
Yeah.
Wow.
So we got to raise our prices.
Maybe we just need to get 3 couches.
You know, I once stayed in an Airbnb in Toronto, Canada, that was a studio of probably 400 square feet, and there were 3 beds in it. I was
In the studio?
in a studio. Yeah. It was quite odd. I booked it last minute. Didn't want to spend a lot. Wanted to be right in the heart of downtown, which I was. I was a block away from Rogers Stadium and all of that. So I mean, it was a great location. But man, that was the most disappointing vacation rental that I've ever
Yeah,
stayed.
I guess. All right, so we're going to sum it up tonight. I mean, we learned a lot about our listing reviews. We did a little bit of a website review for John in Hawaii, and did a listing review for him, as well as learned what improvements we could make if we decided to rent out our couch on Airbnb.
Yeah.
So we'd love, you know, thank you for participating. We talked a little bit about the next surge that may or may not be happening in the states that you're in, or the states that your properties are in. And so we need to pay attention to those as we move forward. We're definitely going to be posting a video up on YouTube and also in our group. So please join us at facebook.com/groups/vacation rental life. That's where all the activity is going. We're looking for more members to join our group. We're up to 75 people, and we'd love for people to invite other people who own vacation rentals. That's what we're looking to have in our group, and just continue the discussion and continue the growth, right? Come out of COVID stronger than we were ever before. Let us be the phoenix that rise from the ashes, right?
Yep.
So that's it. We don't have a sign-off thing. Do you have one yet, Derek? Can you sing us out? Who can sing us out?
You really don't want me to sing us out. You really don't want that. That would not be good to have up on YouTube. You're welcome.
Yeah. All right. Well, folks, until next week, we'll be on at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 5 p.m. Pacific. So wherever you fall in the United States or in Canada, please join us. You can join us at the Vacation Rental Life on Facebook, both page and group. We look forward to seeing you there. Thanks again, everybody. Have a great night.